Jim described Shea's performance as heroic. I think, and he was talking generally about the season. How do you think he has progressed? And was that Penn State game his best performance of the year?
I don't know if it was his best performance, but he certainly played well enough to put ourselves in position to win that game, which I'm happy about. And, he's progressed all year. We focus on that a lot. Just trying to get better every week. We talk about you're not going to be the same at the beginning of the year that you are at the end of the year, and hopefully we're getting better all the way through. And I think he's doing that.
Shea said he was finally healthy on Saturday versus Penn State. How has that limited him this season from your standpoint?
I tell everybody the same thing. He doesn't talk to me a whole bunch about it. He puts his helmet on and tells me he's ready to go, and that's kind of I know him that way, and he's tough, and everybody's got some bumps and bruises that they're dealing with, especially halfway through the season. So I think he's healthy. I'm glad he feels healthy, and but I think everybody's dealing with something.
What did you like the most about what he did Saturday?
I thought he played tough. I thought he had great presence to him, and I think you could feel that from him. He loved being in the environment. Had great poise and presence to him as we were fighting back to get in that game and put ourselves in position there at the end. So it was really neat to see. He was very comfortable, very confident, had great energy about trying to win that game.
Dylan missed a few games with a concussion and had some time off. Where is he right now? And I imagine he's the backup still.
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's been back for a little bit now, and he's healthy, and I think he feels good.
What's it like working with an OC who doesn't have QB position coaching experience, and is there a bit of a learning curve there when even kind of organizing the offense without maybe having that experience available?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the question is, but I mean, Josh has football experience, and he has knowledge of the offense and how the quarterback should function in the offense, and that's what he feeds to me, and I try to feed to the quarterbacks. Josh could coach quarterbacks, if he wanted to. So I think he does a good job of providing a vision for the offense, and then all of us as assistants try and feed that to the players to get them to play the best within the system.
What makes you believe that he could coach quarterbacks?
Just his knowledge of football, and his experience, and the systems he's been in, and his experience. He has plenty of versatility.
It was a couple weeks ago now, but what were some of your takeaways from seeing Joe Milton for an extended period of time against Rutgers?
It was good for him to get that experience. There's nothing like game reps. Doesn't matter how much we practice, there's nothing quite like game reps. So I was glad for him to get an opportunity to get snaps in a game. There's a lot of things that you can't simulate in practice. It was great to see him in there, execute some plays, made some mistakes. That's to be expected. But every rep that he can get in a game is valuable for him, because of his lack of experience at this point in college football.
We saw that two quarterback package a bit earlier in the season. Is that kind of out of the mix right now, or can we see it again?
We'll see.
Shea on Saturday seemed like he wasn't afraid to take some risks when he needed to, like that 35-yard throw to Ronnie on third down, but he had a lot of time to kind of think and go through his reads and made some smart choices too. Like, how have you seen him balance maybe taking the risks versus being smart, and then how he's improved in that this season?
Yeah, I think that's every snap. There's an evaluation of taking risk, calculated risk, smart risk versus not smart risk. The situation dictates that throughout the game. Third down is different than the red area, is different than first and second down, is different than 2 minute, is different than being down or up in the game. So I think the situation changes throughout the game, and as a quarterback, you have to calculate that. really down to down, and he did that pretty well the other night. But he has to do that every game, every time we go out there, every series.
Heard a lot about Joe putting more touch on his throws. What does that look like, and how much of an impact have you had in that process?
He's worked at it. I think he would say that that's something he's been trying to work on. He has great arm strength. That's easy for him. There's always a list of things that every quarterback is working on. That's one of the things he's been working on, and I think he's been getting better at that for sure over the past several weeks.
How does someone work on that added touch?
I think one is knowing that you have to, because I think there's a calculated way in which you throw the ball, as far as the RPMs that you put on the ball, how the ball leaves your hand, the trajectory at which it leaves your hand. So I think that there's something very concrete about how you think about that throw mentally. And then, we try and drill it as much as we can in different ways. I'm the kind of guy that invents a drill as my players need something. I just try and think of something that will help them work on something. I think, and we've had to do some of that. It's been fun, but he's done a good job of working on it.
You mentioned the RPMs. Do you guys measure that when you're looking at touch, how hard a guy throws it?
We don't. We probably should in this 21st century. Everything gets measured by numbers and machines and calculations. But we don't. As a coach, you can visually know and see the change in velocity on different throws.
We haven't heard a lot about Cade, obviously, yet, but what have you seen from his progression through this first year?
He's doing great. He's really smart, loves football, works at it. And you see that in the meeting room every day. You see that out on the field. You see that him putting in time to prepare himself every week. So he's doing great.
Does he have some shade to his game? His high school tape, he was all over the field making plays on the run.
I try not to compare them to each other. They're each their own individual, and their skill sets are sometimes similar, but most times they're very different from each other in what they do really well or what they're each working on. But he's he has some of those traits, but he's his own guy.
How has Shea developed from just getting the ball out quickly over the course of this season?
It's something we've talked about, and we've worked on really all off season. I think he's always been very comfortable playing off schedule. He's very athletic and does a great job playing off schedule well when he's on the move, and it was something that he wanted to put focus to, and I wanted to put focus to, and I think he's done a good job of progressing that way. I think in the most critical moments in a lot of games, you gotta play quarterback that way, and understand what your eyes are looking at, and be able to go put the ball where you need to put it based on what your eyes are telling you about the defense, and he's done a good job.
How do you balance the full field reads versus just making that quick decision and just getting the ball out quickly? And making the play.
Yeah, we have a lot of different reads in the system. Some of which are on one side of the field or full field reads, but regardless of the read, I think what you can gather about what you know about the defense before you have the ball in your hand speeds up your process after the snap, and however long that progression is, on paper, it can be as fast as you want it to be based on what you know about the defense before you have the ball, and that's what we focus a lot on.
Got time for a couple more?
Ben, you joined the staff last year as analyst. What were your responsibilities in that role, and then how did that help prepare you for the coaching job this year?
I was working with the receivers and Coach McElwain, and really supporting the offensive staff in really any way I could at that point. Helping in any game plan responsibilities that they gave me, I think just being in the building was helpful, for me, for sure, to be around the coaches, to be around, our culture, and then transition to coaching the quarterbacks. They knew me. I think that was helpful, despite not having coached them last year.
How involved are you in the quarterback run part of this offense, both in terms of teaching how to do it and then also maybe input how often it should be used, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think we're all part of the thoughts that go into the game plans, and I try and be as helpful and as much a piece of that as I can. But we're all part of the game planning, and but yeah, we're coaching up all of it. We're coaching up the passing game. We're coaching up the running game. Any responsibility we have as a quarterback, we're coaching that up.
How long have you been going on your pregame stadium runs for?
It's funny you say that. So I took last week off. Our trainers tell me I'm dealing with plantar fasciitis, which has not been fun over the past couple weeks. So I actually took off last week, which did not, that didn't thrill me. I have been going on these runs. I try and run on game days as long as we get to the stadium, and I get to the stadium early enough. It helps me get some energy out, but I kind of look at it as I don't exercise as much as I would like to during the week, as busy as the week is. So I kind of feel like I owe it to my kids to stress my heart a little bit, and so that's what my game day runs are about.
Do other coaches do it too? Or?
I don't know if there's any others in our building. A lot of buildings I've been in prior. There's, I've been on staffs that the guys, try and get a workout in or try and get some cardio in. As funny as it sounds, sometimes game day, there's windows of time on game day that are as good a windows to do that as really any other day of the week.
Helen, are you on the
last
deal?
question.
Well, I actually have.
All right, well, you can ask your two-part question.
Yeah, I'm hoping not long. I'm hoping not long, but I don't know that we've decided how long that is.
My other question is, Jim felt compelled to send a letter to recruits saying the rumors yesterday, or the story was crap. Did you hear from recruits? Did you have to squash anything?
No, not really. I think all of our recruits at this point are very aware of this being a cyclical thing every year. Some of that storyline getting out, but I just know I'm glad he's here. I know I'm glad I'm here, and I know I'm glad he's not going anywhere.